Hello and welcome from another video from the channel Drive, Travel, Live. This time I am going to be talking about a subject that actually it's a question that as a driving instructor I consider is the most question I get asked from people in general. Basically, it's the question, are really men better than women when it comes to driving? Well, the answer is not very easy one or a simple one. It's a more complex answer because as I always believe, we are all individuals, we are all different, and sometimes the worst thing we can do is to compare ourselves with others. This time I'm not speaking if it's men or women or men. I'm more speaking even myself compared to another man, because it depends on many situations. It depends on your upbringing, on your background. What did you used to do as a kid? Your parents or whoever brought you up, and as a parent in this life. So basically, this is my answer when I get asked that question as a driving instructor, driving or riding instructor. Since I do lessons with both men and women, this is my point of view. So basically, let's start from men. Men are actually, let's start from a further step. Driving, when it comes to driving, learning to drive, there are two particular subjects which need to be covered. Well, there are many subjects, but I categorize them in two. The first one is car control, which is basically what's happening in the car, using the pedals, the gears, the clutch, the steering. And the second part, which comes after the first part, logically, is what's happening outside. Basically, reading the road, anticipating what can happen, reading the road markings, road signs. There's a lot of subjects, subheadings behind that. And when it comes to men, from my personal experience, men, when you teach them the first part, which is what's happening inside the car control, you get their attention. They are very interested, they are keen to learn. And when it comes to the second part, usually, and again, I'm not speaking individually, I'm speaking in general this time, men tend to lose interest when it comes to the second part. Women are the opposite. When it comes to car control, they take a bit longer. They still pay attention. However, when it comes to road safety, reading the road, anticipating, they are usually more keen on and you have their attention when they are learning. And this is attributed towards our ancestors, when in the very long past, probably thousands or whatever years, men were the hunters. Again, I'm speaking in general. When I say in general, there could be women that pay more attention or are faster to learn when it comes to control, and it could also be the opposite for men when it comes to learning road safety and what's happening outside the car. So, as I was saying, in the very past, in the long past, thousands of years, probably more, I can't really tell since I'm living in the present, men were the people going out to get food, right? Hunting, getting food back home. Again, this is very in general what I'm talking about, and about one particular subject. And women were the people taking care of kids inside the home. So automatically, from a woman's point of view, when it comes to life, they are more attentive, more passionate, maybe even I tend to say deeper in taking care of life, because a woman brings life, well, it brings in a very simple way, they bring babies into this world. So automatically they are more careful when it comes to life, and that's what I mean by taking care more, paying more attention to the rules and regulations and reading the road, etc. So on the other hand, men, they have more, in general, again, spatial awareness. What is spatial awareness? Spatial awareness is basically knowing your surroundings, knowing your, I forgot the word in English, compass, right? Knowing where you're going. Again, this is attributed towards the way of living in the past. So the reality is, there's nothing wrong with women, there's nothing wrong with men. They are two different genders that are shaped by the past and our different structure and all, but I wouldn't say one is better than the other. One has its own positive points, and the other has its own positive points. And when it comes to this subject, it is very, very important, especially if you are a driving instructor or have kids that want to learn to drive. It's very important. Don't compare. Don't even compare brothers or sisters. This is very important. Everybody is an individual, even if they are twins. Be positive with your kids when it comes to learning to drive, because in Maltese we have a saying, we in general like to joke that, listen, when you are going for your lesson, let me know so I don't get out. It's a joke and there's nothing wrong meant with it, but it could affect someone psychologically, sometimes very badly. So be very careful how to comment. Once again, when it comes to this question, are women better than men or men better than women when it comes to driving, I think most of the times the question is focused on car control. And that is why I believe when this question is asked, it has to be a more general question. What I mean is not pinpointing just on one particular subject when it comes to driving or riding. We both, when I say we, men and women, we both have our positives, and I think it's important to focus on those and work together on the road as a team. Just a short information about where I am at the moment. Behind me you see Filfla. It's a very tiny island in Malta. One time it used to be, well, I was going to say bombarded. I believe that it used to be used to be for soldiers to train target shooting. I believe. I stand to be corrected. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I hope it was of great benefit to you and it answered the question you can see in the title. Feel free to comment. I please urge you to be very sensitive in your comments. Again, as I said, both men and women have their own positives, and it's best to focus on those. No, men aren't better than women, and no, women aren't better than men. It's important to focus. I would even go, even each person has, there's no driver like the other. So, but anyway, it's an interesting subject, and I'm going to allow you to enjoy the view for the end of this video. I see you next time. And by the way, thank you very much for all the feedback, not just on comments, but also people meeting me. It really keeps me going. I'm just trying to provide something positive towards the betterment of the world. Enjoy the view. Bye.